could you do me a favor? Can you tell me how many saves Hal had in the first game? Today we've got Team Great Britain White going up against the European team. Great Britain had a fantastic showing earlier today, winning against Belgium 35-0.
Yeah, to be honest, Tari, I'm still recovering from the game we just watched between Switzerland and Germany, which saw Switzerland beat Germany by 3 goals in the end. It was neck and neck throughout. But we are here for Great Britain White versus Europe. And we've just had the face-off there. Great Britain White have come away with it and is already one in the back of the net. Europe quick with the pick-up by their goalie there. Straight out again. But Great Britain won their game 35-0 against Belgium earlier on today. So they'll be riding high after that one. Some fantastic work from their goalkeeper, Hal Dweinberg, who made 10 saves in that game and was on fire.
Hal had it made in that game. We see him in goal now, really dialed in, looking at the shooters for the European team. And there, the shot clock runs out for the European team. Great Britain back with it, coming into their offensive set. You see there,
Great Britain just working it in the perimeter kind of fashion. We've got to think about that shot clock. Less than 10 seconds there. Lovely spin in the center there, but just missed the goal there by the Great Britain's number 26. As we said earlier, Great Britain have fielded 2 teams for this event. We've got another team in the bank, so there is a wealth of talent across the UK on the men's and women's side.
There sure is.
So it's nice to see lots of players get their turn. And there's an attempted worm burner there, not quite low enough. Another save there by Hal. So the ball is out with GB, who are currently leading. And just slow things down a bit here. A few subs going on. Europe sort of trying to find their feet in their defensive end, just leaving a few players out wide. And lovely shot there by GB White player number 19, Jamie Powell.
And Team Europe just giving a lot of space in the middle there. This Great Britain team is going to take advantage of any and all space. You have to mark up tight on them. You know, that's how they got so far ahead of Belgium, and they're going to do it again.
See, those are the kind of mistakes you can't really afford to make in sixes. You can't just throw it away easily to the other side, but that's what Team Europe have just done there. So GP White are just rolling it round here, just taking their time. They've got 12 seconds left on the shot clock on this one, and there is a lot of power that's gone into that shot. It's missed by quite a way, but, you know, power is might, some might say. But yeah, you've got to find the back of that net. Doesn't matter how powerful it might be, but GB are back in possession with it there. Lovely pick up. Ball down again from the white side there. And great feed into the hot slot there. Back of the net from GB's number 8, Resh Panasar, as we learned earlier. Also an A&E doctor.
Yep, Resh Panasar just saving lives and also making goals. How about that? How about that? And Great Britain once again showing their prowess very early on with quick, crisp passing, getting those quick goals in the back of the net.
They'll be really pleased with their stick skills today, I think. GB across both sides, actually.
Definitely, definitely. And there was a foul. Your team number 33, Sam Burgess, there gets called on a foul. So Great Britain is going to be up a player, looking to again get another tally. They seem to be a team that really wants to start off hot and maintain momentum. There's no slowing down for them.
Yeah, they like to stamp their authority from the off.
See Burgess or Panesar starting off with the ball. Burgess on the sideline, sitting in the chair, just thinking about what he did. Right, and we are off. Number 17, Thomas Rosser, passing that off. Ball goes wide, so it goes to Europe, and Europe's goalie out of the net, number 74, Christian Warren. But that's a turnover for Europe. It goes to number 14, Lyndon Bunio, who we know is with the Vancouver Warriors. Very familiar with playing lacrosse at the highest levels, as are many of these team members.
That was a bit of a telegraphed shot there, almost. You knew what it was going to do, that one. So it was a nice save there from the European goalkeeper.
And the shot clock runs out. Great job by Europe maintaining and containing Great Britain. Great Britain up 3-0, though, so let's look for Europe's first tally. And there it is. I mean, that looked like goal to me, but looks like it hit the top of the pipe. Pipe
If
has
in
been
doubt,
active.
Pipe has had a wonderful game.
You got to get the stats check on Pipe. Might be the MVP, if not one of the goalies. And here, Great Britain moving the ball beautifully. Oh, look at that.
That was a lovely fake. That's what we're all about, those fakes. I'm all about that fake. From Dan Watson there, GB White, number 9.
Here we see Europe's number 9, Sebastian Sheed, starting with it, passing it around. The ball back on Europeans' offensive front. And there is the goal.
So Europe are on the sheet 4-1. So they haven't maintained a clean sheet today. GB White, and you would never expect anyone really to maintain a clean sheet, even in one game. So actually, to go 35 bagel in the first game was pretty stunning. And we probably weren't invited to be part of Team Europe, even if we wanted to be. #Brexit.
Oh, and there's Great Britain number 10, Pomfret. We talked about him. That is a star to watch, a player to watch. If you're not watching Dowbang in goal, you gotta watch Pomfret. He's gonna be scoring some crazy goals this weekend.
If we ate a flake for every time Pomfret took a goal, we wouldn't have any left.
That's true. I do have about 20 in my bag.
And guess what?
Goal.
Who hit the back of the net?
Pomfret. I get to eat another flake. Thank you. Let's take a look at this replay. A great transition. I mean, Great Britain's just so good in transition.
Yeah, I think you call that nonchalant, you know? It was just, easy breezy, beautiful.
Right. Another day at the office.
Yeah.
2 minutes left in this first quarter of the final game. Great Britain leading 6-1. But let's see what Europe can do with this. They've got 7 seconds left on the shot clock. So shifty right there, but the pass has got to go.
Yeah, and you heard that was just a bit rushed, all of that. You could hear the European subs shouting that the time was running down and they needed to take that shot, and so they just had to do what they could with the time they had left, and it wasn't really enough, especially to get it past a goalkeeper.
And for
like
many people whose first time it is playing sixes, you know, that shot clock is something to get used to. You're not necessarily able to hold on to the ball as long as you want to, and you have to be cognizant that the shot clock is going to run out.
Yeah, it's about being aware of just one more thing while you're on the pitch.
And we see a timeout for Europe. They're down 7-1 at the moment with just about 1:15 left in the quarter.
They've not played badly so far. They're 7-1 down, yes, but it's not like there's too much to worry about for Team Europe at this point. They are playing a very, very strong side who are riding high after that amazing first game they played in. And so they'll just be thinking, right, we need to just regroup a bit. We need to just play our own game at this point. Don't let Team GB run away with anything, because that's when you're going to be in trouble.
Yeah.
Is if you let that side really hit their stride. It's gonna take a lot of coming back from. But no, 7-1, 6 minutes 42 into the first quarter here. So that's the end of that timeout there. We won't go back to face-off, obviously, because it's just been a timeout. So here we go with just a minute and a bit left until the quarter time. So Great Britain White leading 7-1 against Team Europe.
And Great Britain White, definitely the strongest team that we've seen so far. But as you can see, Europe is holding their own today. They're not just letting them kind of score and score and score on them. They're taking opportunities, albeit, going wide, and some may not be perfect, but it's the opportunities out there that count.
Nice transition up the pitch here from GB White. Nice long pass there. And they're really good at thinking ahead. They're always looking up. They're anticipating the next pass, looking for that player in the hole if they can find them. So it's a nice attempted roll there, some great defense there from Team Europe, and GB wind up there and find the back of the net already on the redefense. That's what we love to see from GB's number 9, Dan Watson there. It was a great shot, but he didn't think about it. He was like, yep, cool, scored it, well done me, tick, off to the other end of the pitch to do the defending. And that's what is so important. We've been saying it all day, and I'm going to keep banging on about it. Redefense is key in this game.
The midfield, quote unquote, or kind of what's happening between the goals is even more vital in this game, because that's either what's going to help you not, get beat by the shot clock or regain possession. And every player is playing every position, and that's just really going to make a difference, is that redefend.
I'm nodding, and then I realize no one can see me, but I am nodding and fully in agreement with you on
each other. And that's the end of that first quarter. Great Britain leading 8-1 against the Europe team. Not too bad for Europe. Not as many, goals or shots on goals they'd probably want, but for a team that previously beat someone else 35-0, they're kind of holding them at bay. It's early though. You still got 24 minutes of lacrosse left.
Yeah, things have quietened down a lot following that absolute blockbuster of a game before that. But before this one, when we saw Switzerland take down Germany. But, the intensity on the pitch is just as high, and it's about the players on the pitch. It's not about what we're like in the crowd or the audience or what our Friday night is like. It's that game time. And so we've gone into this first quarter. Yep, GB leading, looking in the ascendancy really, but they don't quite look like they've hit their stride yet, like they did in that previous game.
Looks like he'll take a look at these highlights from that first quarter. Couple of great replays. You just see how shifty and fast Great Britain is, and why they're a team that can beat another team by that margin. Right,
so heading back out onto the pitch for this second quarter of GB White versus Europe. GB leading 8-1, so 8 minutes down and another 24 to play. It's 7 goals in it at the moment, but as we've said before, 7 goals, not that much to worry about. And here we go, GB versus Europe, quarter 2.
Burgess with it, passing it along. Oh, and a close call there, number 18 for Europe. George Dale takes that shot, but again, it's wide. I think the shot selection for Europe is what's holding them back just a little bit.
Yeah, it's one of those moments as a player, you hear your coach shouting angles from the side, and you don't want to make eye contact because you know exactly that you've done the wrong
You're
thing.
Avoiding direct eye contact. Yeah. That I can concur.
I had a coach who used to always shout spaces, not faces, when you took a shot and it just hit the goalie.
Yeah, spaces, not faces. I like that. Another tally for Great Britain. Who else but Pomfret doing what needs to be done and then immediately getting back on defense.
I'd love to see how far he's run today. Hopefully we'll get to see some of those stats later that we were talking about. A lot of it is being measured this weekend. Bit of a wild sort of hockey flick from Europe's number 33, Sam Burgess there. It was an odd one, but he landed on his bum, so it's given him some time to have a sit down, have a think about what he's done, and put that in the corner and forget about that one.
Yeah, but it looks like we have a yellow card against Great Britain for that. That is on Great Britain's number 25, Ben Page Laycock, and he is going to have to sit on the sidelines and, like Georgie said, think about what he did.
Nobody puts baby in the corner.
Solid movie. And there is kind of the potency of Great Britain. They're able to steal that ball away, but a foul there called against Europe. So
yeah, the double team was a bit too aggressive there. It's all about the aggression. Yes, you want controlled aggression, I guess, in something like double team. You find you want to stop them getting through you on the body and the stick, but yeah, it was just a bit too much from those two there.
Yeah. And, Great Britain regaining that ball, even though they're down a man, that's a big deal. Showing again that they're able to just make it work no matter what the formation is.
Trying to be a bit too smart there once again. Resh Panasar, we could see what he was doing. He was going for the placement rather than the power on that one, but just didn't quite have enough on it.
Yeah.
If you're going for precision, you've got to go for precision with 100% accuracy.
And you see Warren Christian clearing, coming pretty far upfield to clear that for Europe. Europe working the ball around. They've really pulled away from the goal to try to make something happen. Oh, what a check there, that wraparound check, stealing the ball from number 16 from Dale. And Great Britain once again showing their power in transition, but that shot just wide. So Europe gets possession back once again. Christian starting with it, looking for his outlet pass to a teammate. Matt Hallworth with it, bringing it upfield off to Sheed.
Europe just trying to work it around here, but some very, very strong defending from GB White. Sees them come away with the ball, and as they head off up the pitch, that's a lovely find there. Unlucky on that one.
Lyndon Brunio had it, brought it up. Great Britain looking to get another goal, but that
bit
pass
of a wild
is high.
pass. Come away with the ball here. Did I hear a shout of hyena there? Perhaps
I
a
think
play?
they might have some plays. Okay, so that tells us a lot. Tells us a lot.
We haven't heard many play shouts today, I don't think, so maybe that's something we're just building into that. Maybe the Lion King theme on these ones.
Love that. I support it. I
wonder
support
what
it.
a Pumbaa would be.
That's slow and steady. Slow and steady, winning the race. The battle for the ground ball getting intense.
A lovely
England-
one-handed pickup, almost a fantastic finish there.
Pomfret just looking to get that shot on the run across his body, goes wide. Back to Christian, the ball goes. And Europe's really taking their time getting the ball upfield, whereas when Great Britain gets it, you know, they're really running, gunning, just going for it, which we kind of see reflected in this 8-1 score differential.
Yeah, it's two very different styles of play, isn't it?
Another turnover for Europe, and these turnovers, I mean, Great Britain's going to force you to turn something over. They're so intense on the defense, and that's going to make a big difference. All behind the back pass, I mean, what can you say? Jump shot there, almost makes it, and the ball goes out of bounds. Europe gets another chance at redemption. Got to take care of the ball. A nice roll away there by Burgess to keep the ball. Oh, and that warm runner just.
Bit wild, that one could say. It's sort of another trying too hard, gone for the bounce, and it's just gone a bit wayward on there. And it's given possession back to GB, which is the last thing Europe need right now. But only down 8-1. So, you know, it could be much worse. And actually, there's some nice transition going on here from Europe. Nice little fake. I thought that had gone, but he's lost. Burgess has lost his stick on that check, and so GB are back in possession.
Panesar with a great strip away check there to steal it from Burgess, showing just how good he is both on offense and on defense.
You got to be able to do both in this format.
Got to be able to do both. And as the second quarter winds down, as this first half winds down, Great Britain again showing just how strong they are, that one-handed catch. But a nice save, Christian there to be like, nope, not today, not today.
I definitely thought that was a goal, but
Yep,
even we can be wrong sometimes.
Yes, absolutely.
Only occasionally.
Only occasionally, once in a while, maybe once a quarter. A wraparound, let's see if Europe can do it.
No, you feel like he sort of went for the wrong hand on that one. Perhaps left-hand dominance, so wanted to take that left-handed shot, so sort of rolled back on himself, but rolled into the defender there and didn't get the angle or the sort of space that he would have wanted on that shot.
There it is, another goal for Great Britain. They're just racking up the tallies, but Europe had held them at bay scoreless for just a bit. You know, their defense has started to really kind of awaken and get even stronger.
See, it's moments like that. You just can't afford that against a team like GB. So complete unforced error drop there, and GB have found the other end and found the back of the net from number 25 there. So that is Ben Page Laycock. That was a nice little finish, that one.
Yeah. And you just see how unselfish Great Britain is. They're making sure that every teammate touches that ball, gets that pass to add to their tally. And that's a wrap for the second quarter. We're going to head to the half. So far, so good. What a showing from Great Britain. Again, you know, they haven't necessarily run away with the game as they did in the first matchup we saw with them against Belgium. Europe was able to hold them at bay a little bit more in that second quarter, but Great Britain making it happen, playing great defense too. They're really showing up on defense.
Yeah, so they go into the end of the first half, 10-1 up. And yeah, I think you might look at it and think, oh, but they came away 35-0 in the first one. This is really different. But actually, they haven't just gone in, but like bang, 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 we need to score these goals. They're trying to build that. There's no point in playing a game when all you're doing is just scoring, this, that, and the other. That's not going to affect anyone. That's not going to help in the future if you're just going in and scoring goals willy-nilly. You're not building a team, building a squad there. You're just letting individuals sort of fly away with goals and goals and goals. Very well. It's all very well to come away and be like, oh, I scored 8 goals today. But if the team as a whole hasn't built or learnt anything from the game, there's not really much point in that. That's just you shining your own ego, really.
Right, padding your statistics. So looks like we may have just about 30 seconds left in the second quarter. That was the timeout there. An interception by Great Britain. They're going to just take it to the house. Another tally there for Bracegirdle. And an interception there. Great Britain just everywhere, anywhere and everywhere they can be, they are there.
Honestly, some of them, it's like it's an octopus. They've got arms everywhere. They've got arms the length of my legs. They can reach. They seem to be intercepting, reaching. It's like they've brought their long defending sticks from the long form game, and they're just making those interceptions that are so crucial at this point.
Yep. And that defensive pressure, they're not just banking on their offensive skills and prowess. They know that they got to make other things happen. Great Britain white ahead 12-1 against this Europe team. Europe almost gets a turnover there, but that is the end of the second quarter. We're heading to halftime. Stick with us. We've got 16 more minutes of fantastic, fantastic lacrosse to show you and share with you.
Yeah, so GB going into the actual halftime. We faked it last time. This is the actual halftime. Gotcha. Who fell for it? So, yeah, GB going into the halftime 12-1 up. So they'll be quite pleased with that performance. I can see some of the players down there. The Europeans looking a bit
disgruntled, a bit disappointed in stuff so far, so maybe a little bit of work to be done there. GB not looking too unhappy. They're in their huddle being spoken to by their coach. You wonder what they might be saying, whether it's, oh, we want to get those goals and capitalise like we did in the first game, or perhaps we're trying to build into tomorrow and potentially semi-finals and finals on Sunday, and look at things that might be, there could be any eventuality in any other game, because there are some very strong sides in this tournament.
Definitely, definitely a great chance to continue kind of building their game plan now that they've seen just how they can play.
And we are back on for the second half, and it is Europe with the first goal of the second half. So there is 12-2. Team GB caught napping a little bit there.
They won't be very happy with that one. Maybe that half-time break just gave them a few too many moments off, and they need to get their heads back in the game. But they are leading 12-2 and still looking pretty strong, if you ask me. They're just a few whistles going here.
That was a great save by Christian there. Gonna get some chats about possession, see who the ball stays with, but yep, then the ball goes to Europe. That was out on Great Britain. Europe taking it up. Burgess bring it to the offensive end. A nice save there by Dwelbang, who we know is a phenomenal goalie, showing why he is the starter and why he's in this game. Great Britain passing it around a bit, trying to set up just some picks, a little bit of movement, and that worked out pretty well for them there. A great pick leads to a great goal for Great Britain, that one by Bunio. And Dale starting off with it, transitioning the ball up to Burgess and team.
Feels like the intensity has gone down a little bit since the halftime break. Maybe teams just need to get back into it a bit. Lovely save. Guess who it was by?
The #1 goalie, literally wearing #1, Hal Dwovang with that save. And I agree with you, Georgie. I think that teams are kind of taking a little bit of a breather, really working on, the ride, working on picks, working on offensive sets. But this could be a chance for Europe to catch Great Britain by surprise a little bit. Great Britain again leading 13-2 early in this third quarter.
Lovely behind the back pass there to find Mike Pomfrey, my apologies, in front of the goal, finds the back of the net. Very, very happy there. And Team GB coach will enjoy that one.
Pomfret, as we know, anywhere and everywhere. It's like he and Prescott on the other Great Britain team just are all over the place.
There he is in the defensive end as well there, causing that turnover.
A decent shot there by Europe, goes wide, so Robang is there to pick it up, waiting for the goalie to give him the heads up to say, hey, go for it.
Definitely lost a few degrees on the temperature out here.
Definitely did. All good. We've got our long sleeves on. George's got her hoodie on, looking very cool. And the ball back with Europe.
I look like a mushroom. I don't look cool in any way, shape, or form.
The high ponytail. You're rocking it. You know what? Fashion is all about how it makes you feel.
Warmer is
Yes,
how it's making me feel.
That's the most important part. Most important part. We're on the beautiful Algarve region of Portugal, but the temperatures did drop just a bit to end off the night, end off a day of great lacrosse. This is the last game we're calling for the evening, so thank you for joining us. You're watching Great Britain's white squad against the Europe team. Great Britain has two men's squads here. They have the white and they also have the red team, both made up of just really, really phenomenal athletes that are making a splash. And earlier today, we saw this Great Britain white team win a game 35-0. So, I mean, that tells us why.
It was really, really unlucky there, Ben, with that one. It was a great roll. It looked like he was one-on-one with the goalie. Thought I'd already seen it go back in the back of the net in my head.
Right.
And then it didn't happen. I was actually quite confused because I was like, but he scored it. Right. It seemed like it was inevitable, but it was a nice little bit of work from the goalkeeper there.
Agreed. But Warren Christian in goal, just doing what he needs to do. You couldn't even tell that this Europe team hasn't really played together until today. A couple of them might have some overlap in lacrosse clubs or university clubs, but they're, giving Great Britain a run for their money in a couple plays. Burgess with it, passing it off.
Got to think about that shot clock, though. We've nearly done 5 seconds on this, but Great Britain white coming away with it here, working up the pitch.
I think that they'll regret that turnover. Oh, a nice save for Great
Really,
Britain.
really nice.
think they might regret that turnover, but it's all good. Eyes on the prize. Oh, a shot there by Paige Laycock just goes wide. Christian there to scoop it up. Europe has to take advantage of these possessions that they're getting. Great Britain being a little bit sloppier than usual with their passing and shots, so a good chance for a team to say, let's see what we can do.
So who's impressed you most so
That's
far?
a great question. For Great Britain White, I would say Robing and, of course, Pomfret have impressed a lot. I also think Bunio and Bracegirdle have really showed out, especially on the offensive ends. But, Pomfret and Robing on defense have been absolute stars. And for Europe, Warren Christian, the goalie, he's making some really, really strong saves. Sam Burgess has had some good shots as well. Both teams are really just kind of doing what they need to do to keep their teams in the game.
I think Burgess is having a pretty good one too, actually.
And lots of great talk too. For young players watching, you hear the teams talking as they go through, as they play defense, as they play offense. Communication is a big, big, big important step in any version of lacrosse, but this 6v6 format is even more important because it moves so fast.
I think communication is one of those things that is just important in every sport. It's just you can't do without it.
Right. A minute left in this third quarter. Great Britain White leading 14-2. A nice save there by Christian. He said, nope, not today. But Great Britain comes back. That one, number 14. Great Britain gets that tally. Let's take a look at this one. Bunio again, just showing those box lacrosse skills. That first shovel shot gets saved, but he's like, nope, I'm coming back and I'm diving.
I think that's always so important. Like, the goalies are making some fantastic saves, but it's about getting that rebound. If it still bounces out the circle, you've got to be there to take the second shot, and sometimes even the third shot. And as a goalie as well, you're having to then think, oh God, here we go again. They're doing another one, and you can't be like, you can't. It's like we were saying earlier, you haven't got time to celebrate until the end of the game.
Right. Exactly. Under a minute left, and Europe gets that tally again. And that is it for the third quarter.
Quarter time. So we go into three-quarter time. So 8 minutes left to play. GB White are up 15-2 against Europe. But I'm not sure the scoreline quite reflects. I actually feel like both teams should have scored a few more. Like, Europe have played better than 2 goals, would say. But they've also had some fantastic saves from the GB White goalkeeper, Dwibang. So, we can't really use the score as the one here. But yeah, GB have been dominant, you might say. So 15-2 to them at this moment. Another 8 minutes to play. And I think they'd be looking for another 6 or 8 goals at least in this quarter to go away at the end of the night really with a convincing win.
Yep, absolutely. And it'll be a weekend of convincing wins for both Great Britain teams and for any team playing, but especially these two teams, vying for these spots. So keep an eye on Great Britain White, keep an eye on Great Britain Red.
So here we go for the final quarter of lacrosse action for day one here at the EuroLax Sixes Cup in Portugal, the inaugural EuroLax Sixes Cup, which is very exciting. The first of many, I like to think. So we're going into the last 8 minutes of the day. This final game of day one, Great Britain White versus Europe. Great Britain White currently 15-2 up. 8 minutes to go, and here we go with the face-off for the final 8 minutes. Great Britain come away with the ball. They are looking to assert their dominance from the off there, and they have done so, 15-2.
Dan Watson with it, getting that ball from Brace Girdle. I called out as a player to watch earlier as well. And now we see the change in possession. After each goal, possession does change to the opposing team. So Europe going to work the ball around and see what they can do in these last 8 minutes. A close up, kind of a bit of a tussle there, going to get the ball. That shot clock does run out for Europe. It is Great Britain's ball. Great Britain gonna pass it around. Maybe catch their breath a bit, but under 20 seconds left in the shot clock. So we're gonna see Brace Girdle going to goal. That one doesn't make it to the goal, so Europe now has possession. They have a fresh shot clock.
What's great is that often in sports, people get tired, the communication goes down, but actually in this sixes, you're finding that it's almost increasing at this point. So you can really, really hear what they're telling each other to do. The teams are communicating really well.
Right.
And especially for someone like Team Europe, who haven't really played together much, as we said earlier, the communication is so key because you haven't really got that telepathic knowing what each other's going to do without saying it kind of situation.
Exactly. And they have the subs, why not use the subs to be in there to fill in. And a save by Christian on that shot by Pomfret. Ball deflected out of bounds. Europe gets it once again. Great Britain White is leading 17-2 in this last quarter.
I also think what's so impressive from all of the teams today is obviously we've had a very difficult last few years. People haven't been able to get out and play. They were training against their own wall in their houses and were on their own, and you could only get to squad things after a long time away from the game. So maintaining those skills and fitness in something like lacrosse is really difficult when you're not with your teams or being able to communicate, because more game time together is always going to make better synergy within a side, and then you're just thrown together at situations like this, or you haven't got, people have full-time jobs, they can only train together on a Sunday maybe at different parts of the country. Europeans just thrown together, this team from all over the place. So it's really impressive to see such high quality lacrosse from across the men's, the women's, and at all levels.
Right. Yeah, making the most of the opportunities to play together, to be on teams together. That's really what matters, and the Great Britain coaches have done a great job putting together really complementary teams. As we see Europe's number 23, Jack Miles, taking it around, and a shot there from Sarkuti saved by Drobang. Drobang just racking up the saves. I cannot wait to see how many saves he has at the end of the weekend. Pomfret passing it to behind the net. I haven't seen too many teams utilize the back of the net, but that is going to be a turnover for Great Britain. The ball went over the midline.
I wonder if we see less of the behind the goal action because of the shot clock. Because you can't score unless you're a magician from behind the goal, so it's going to waste a few of those seconds to get that ball round. So you don't see it as much in this game as you would perhaps in the tennis side when you're putting that perimeter play together and you always have that player behind the goal. So
Yes, yeah, and I think these teams haven't necessarily been. Oh, it's a great interception. They haven't been struggling to score from in front of the goal, so they haven't had to go behind. Right there, as we see number 14 Bunio with it.
yeah,
and
one-on-one
getting that
with the
goal.
goalie is going to take that all day long or all night, which we're working into now. A bit of all night long, but Lionel.
Yeah.
Lionel Richie?
It is Lionel
It
Richie.
is Lionel Richie.
Yeah, Great Britain just taking everything in stride, striding into another big margin win. We see them up 19-2 right now as we kind of enter the
Make
second
that
half.
20.
20-2.
So that's cumulatively they've scored 55 goals
55 goals.
today, and you wouldn't be too unhappy with that.
No, welcome to sixes.
Yeah.
Is what I'll say to viewers watching. The goal of the game is to make it fast, to have more goals, more plays that we can look back on and say, wow, that was an amazing play. We're watching Europe with the ball right now. Porter with it. Great defense from Great Britain to
Also
just keep
really
them out.
impressive restraint there from Tom Grosvenor. You could see he really wanted to go for that wild check, and he stopped himself and was like, no, come on, mate. I can't do this. I don't want to give away that. I don't want to be subbed off. We might be leading by a lot, but the last thing your team wants at this time in the day to then have to play 5 instead of 6.
Agreed. And that, Europe loses the ball on that play. Shot clock ran out. Oh, a great shot
so
there.
Unlucky there. I thought he'd save that. It's just that had so much power on it that he didn't quite get his stick to the floor and smother the ball like he would want to do, and it's just dribbled on through.
Europe back with the ball again. Let's see what they can do. That ball saved by Drobang.
And he chases it himself, which I love to see.
That he does. Shot clock resets for Great Britain, and they're bringing it back upfield in this final quarter of the game of the evening. A great showing from both Whoa, that's a zinger too. Great showing from both Great Britain men's teams. Doing phenomenal work. That shot there by Great Britain. Another example of just how lethal they are on the offense. Now we see Sirkuti with it. Loses it for a second, but able to corral it back. Ball moving around for Team Europe. Alistair Trimmer with it now. Hoping to make something happen. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Europe loses the ball there off a hopeful shot by Dale, but the ball goes out of his stick. Great defense by Great Britain.
20 seconds on the shot clock, so still plenty of time. Here's Luke Pomfret. He looks to wind up, and is he going to go for it himself? No, he finds Ben Paisley up at the top, who can't quite get the shot away. Great Britain leading 22-2 with very little time left.
The final
in
minute
the game.
of the game. Final minute of the game. These teams playing their hearts out. It has been a great day of lacrosse. And let's see how Europe ends this game. They're down 22-2, but have had such good showings, and for a couple of games the scoreboard just hasn't necessarily reflected the hard work and kind of effort of the losing team that we're able to see as we watch the game. That shot there by Europe's Porter goes wide. It was off the goalie, so Europe does get to keep possession, but gotta watch the shot clock and also the game clock to make sure that they're able to make something of that possession. Oh, and Great Britain able to grab that.
Even with
Laycock with
even
it.
going right into the last few seconds, they're still fighting for it. Great Britain,
Yeah.
They're not fighting for it because they won the fight. I'm just gonna. I think
But
I
they're
can
keeping
safely
momentum.
say that they really are. They're still putting everything into it right up to the last. They're not conserving energy despite it being tournament play and some 2 big days ahead.
Yeah.
And they've come out with it, and that is the end of the game. Great Britain White beat Europe 23-2. It wasn't the dominant performance we saw them put in earlier, but it was very strong, and they'll be really happy with that as they go into the end of day 1. Undefeated, 2 from 2, Great Britain White. Team Europe, yes, they'll be disappointed not to have got more goals out of that one, but it was a very strong side they were playing against there. Some great play from GB White, who really are looking absolutely tip-top in this tournament. So that is the end of day 1 of the inaugural EuroLax Sixes. Myself and Tari have absolutely loved being with you today, and to close on some fantastic play from GB White there. I think there's some very tired bodies out there, and probably already I see there've been some very tired bodies already been in the sea this afternoon.
Yes.
I won't be going in the sea after this. I'll be going in a very warm shower.
Yes,
I've absolutely
tea.
loved being with you today on day 1 of this EuroLax Sixes. Tari, how has it been for you?
It's been phenomenal getting to play and watch these really, really talented teams, seeing how strong Great Britain, both their teams are showing has been, getting to identify what teams can adjust very quickly on the fly for sixes. This is such a new version of the game for so many people playing, and even those that have played in 1 or 2 tournaments, it's still new for them. So thank you all for tuning in and following along with us. We are so pumped to bring you more great commentary this weekend. Follow me on Twitter at @officiallaxgirl.
And at GeorgieHeath27. Send any questions you fancy in our direction. We will see what we can ask. We'll try and chat to some of the players over dinner perhaps this evening. So maybe get a little insight into what it's like behind the scenes. I don't think you need to see our behind the scenes. There's lots of Cadbury flakes going on and lots of hoodies overheads. But yeah, it's been an absolutely fantastic day, and we'll see what stats we can bring you, what insights, and we look forward to you all tuning in again tomorrow. Thank you for tuning in on day one. Over and out.
Peace.